If people wanted to heal their skin, get rid of cellulite, reduce oxidative stress, and extend their lifespan, their longevity, and feel good, Nayan, why should they listen or watch this interview and learn about the healing properties of glutathione?
The main reason is because there is a way we can do it now. 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe not so much, but today we have a solution that can absolutely deliver the results that you're looking for. I mean, if that's not bold enough, we can go in more specific if you're interested in it. But that's what I can tell you is that now we have the technology, we have the patents, we have a way to deliver molecules that can help us heal from inside. And yes, the stubborn cellulite that you can never think of ever getting rid of it, there's a way to do that part. Not just glutathione, but I mean, you have to get in tune with your own body. But the most important part is, can I activate your gallbladder and your liver to start dumping all the excess fat that's stuck in there? And when you do that part, the cellulite comes down.
So it's a side effect, a byproduct of getting healthier.
It is a byproduct of getting healthier. But again, if you're just looking to reduce cellulite and not want to get healthier, maybe this is not a solution for you. But it does both at the same time.
Fantastic. So glutathione is that one of those molecules that you're referring to. And I think most people hear the word glutathione and they think, oh, master antioxidant. And of course, there's some truth to that. But there's so much more that I've learned from you on this amazing molecule. So give us the rundown on glutathione and all the amazing things it does inside of the body.
Absolutely. So the most important part people know about is antioxidant effects, because oxidative stress is something that is you're exposed to every single second, either from pollution, sunlights, chemical exposures that you have, or the chemical reactions happening in your body every single day, every single second in your life. That's how your body keeps on functioning. The byproduct is an oxidative species, nitrogen species, that needs to be neutralized. Otherwise, it can damage your internal organs and internal internal DNA. Glutathione is the only molecule produced by humans to do that part. People have taken vitamin C as, if you drink your orange juice every single day, that gives you antioxidant effects. Humans, we don't produce vitamin C. We produce glutathione. And so replacing glutathione is the number one goal for me. But it's not just the antioxidant effect. The bigger function it has, which you can think that if I can just do that one thing, it's going to be a $1 billion drug itself. It does way more than antioxidant. The part that it does that you don't even want to that you think that is not doable is to detoxify your liver. Every single day, your liver it's a garbage disposal, and it gets clogged up every single day. So you need to get rid of all those toxic chemicals and get rid of it on a regular basis. If not, those chemicals can get recirculate them in your body or get stuck in the fat cells, and the fat cells becomes bigger and bigger, and you never lose weight. And so having a good detox system that can not just conjugate, not just find those chemicals, but also help them bind to in your liver and get rid of it. You need glutathione to do both of those functions. So if I can just do one thing, antioxidant, it's a miracle on its own. If I can do two things, it's by far the most potent product that we have in our body.
Ooh. All right. So antioxidants is the first thing there that most people recognize it as. Our metabolism creates these byproducts, these reactive oxygen species as a result of energy production. But of course, the more insults we take from lifestyle, you mentioned different things like seed oils, high sugar diets, different toxins, create a higher demand for antioxidants, glutathione being one of them, one of the most popular ones, important ones. So the more of a demand for antioxidants, you tend to deplete your antioxidant reserves, your glutathione reserves. So what happens is we essentially age faster. It's like the cellular rust that is occurring. But the second key thing there is what it does for the liver and detoxification. And that liver, I call it the soccer mom organ because it does so many things for us like a soccer mom. In the relation to a keto approach, which is my audience is doing a lot of keto, the number one problem I see with people who struggle on keto is the fact that they have this hepatic biliary sludge, this thick bile,
Yes.
can't break down fat, they feel awful, and it's because their liver is so backed up and congested. So you're saying glutathione is such a powerhouse to get that liver up and functioning the way that it was designed.
That's exactly right. And when you see the sludge, that sludge is getting deposited on your cellulite, right?
Ooh.
So that's the thing. If I can reduce the sludge down, the sludge is also triglycerides. If I can reduce the sludge or help them mobilize them out of your liver as fast as possible, of course, you cannot do too fast, otherwise your body cannot handle the excretion pathways. But if I can remove that part, oh my God, it'll be incredible. And by the way, you do it naturally when you're young. All of a sudden, when you're 40 or 50, the process gets slowed down a little bit, and all of a sudden, the same diet that you did 20 years ago is now no longer fully functioning for you to the same extent. And so having an additional help with glutathione absolutely helps with your keto diet or the process that you have to stay lean and fit at all times.
Ooh, so this is especially important if you're over the age of 40, which I'm about to turn 40 in a few months. So yeah, I'm right there with you. And when it comes to glutathione, a lot of people will say things like, yeah, but Nayan, I've taken glutathione supplements and I haven't noticed anything. Could you explain the different types of glutathione out there and why a lot of these supplements that contain glutathione are not necessarily getting you the benefits you just spoke about?
Gotcha. I know this is a long topic. And when I talk about this different supplement into a physician's group, they always shake their head and they said, because it is shattering the belief structure. So let me just tone it down in a few minutes that I have. Glutathione has been known for over 130, 140 plus years, right? And so we always assume as a chemist, as a healthcare practitioner, my job is just to get the product inside your body, either by mouth, either by injections, either by eye drops or nasal sprays or suppositories, it doesn't matter. Then hopefully your body knows what to do with it, right? That's always a hope. You think about any medication you take, your job is just to get inside the mouth or inside your body, and then you're hoping that the body's going to take care of the rest. When it comes to glutathione, none of the formulas that's out there existing today for the last 100 plus years actually enters the body's inert system, which is the cells. If it cannot get in the cells, it's basically useless to us. It's just in the water system and you pee it out. So there are injections forms of glutathione. And I know that because I was one of the largest producers of injectable glutathione in America through my compounding pharmacy for 20 plus years until we got the patents approved for this newer version. So it did not work because the thing is the body, when you inject it inside your blood, it only stays in the plasma part of the blood. It never enters the blood cells. And your body, the kidneys just filters it out, and you just your pee in 15 minutes is like 300-fold increase in your urine in 15 minutes or less. So you just pee everything out. So you're injecting this expensive stuff in your body and not doing anything. Then there's another technology which is oral capsules or oral liquids. People think there's all these liquids forms of glutathione, which they have put some layers over it called liposomal technology. And it was great back in the 80s and 70s when it was first discovered for simple molecules. But when it comes to a peptide or protein or this amino acid chains that we have, it doesn't really protect it from the degradation. It does protect from the degradation, but doesn't help with absorption. Whenever it gets released to the body still breaks it down into various amino acids, and those amino acids are basically reabsorbed, and your body tries to put the glutathione back together. So all this technology in the world, all the peptides, and you can just name of any amino acid chains that you're taking, the body breaks it down into various amino acids, and then the body tries to remake it again for you. So glutathione is no exception. So until now, there is not a single technology that actually raised your glutathione levels to a high enough to compensate for all the body's needs. Don't get me wrong. All the system that we have until now worked for a little bit, but the duration of the time was not there. And so when you need glutathione every single day of your life, every single second of your life, right? And you only get it for, let's say, half a day. And the rest of the half a day, I'm sorry, you're on your own, right? That catches up to you eventually. So you need to have glutathione that is actually working for you day in, day out, whenever you need it to, and not just half a day during the 12 hours a day. So now we have the technology that can actually deliver the glutathione topically into the through the skin, that actually gets inside your body and stays there for 4, 6, 8 hours. And if a repeated use of this of glutathione can stay up to 12 hours.
Wow.
So that now we have a way to stay sustained. If you use it twice a day, you can have 24-hour coverage.
Wow. Okay, so this is getting into the cell. This patented technology is getting into the cell. How are you testing that, and how are people claiming that their glutathione supplements also raise the blood levels of glutathione? But are you testing a different way to determine if it's actually getting into the cell?
Yeah, so they're all measuring the blood levels, but you have to measure the RBC levels and not the whole blood, because the whole blood has the plasma and the red blood cells. If it's in the plasma, it's within 15 minutes it will be out of the system anyways.
So even with like a IV glutathione, same situation.
Same situation. So you want to measure the RBC levels of glutathione, which is it's, unless you're in a research lab, it's really hard to test the RBC levels, especially the reduced form of glutathione or the active form of glutathione, because as soon as you draw the blood and you send it to the lab, within 15-20 minutes the blood becomes oxidized. And what you're really measuring is just the oxidized form of glutathione. Unless you're in a research lab. So we did a study at the university over here in California. We drew the blood, put it in the machine right away, so we were able to measure the reduced form of glutathione and the oxidized form of glutathione in your blood to see what the redox properties are, or how much you have of the good one and how much you have the dormant one. The dormant one is still not bad. This thing can be reactivated to become active again by use of vitamin C and vitamin E and things like that. Even sunlight, even short duration of sunlight can reactivate the glutathione to make it into reduced form to have antioxidant properties. So measuring the RBC levels are the gold standard. Now, don't get me wrong, all the other therapy will also raise the glutathione levels, but not because you absorbed it. What you really absorbed is the 3 amino acids, and the body is putting the 3 amino acids together to make glutathione again. So that's so bad? It's not bad at all. But keep in mind, there are a lot of people today, and now we have the gene mutation test that we can test today. A lot of people have this gene mutation where they cannot conjugate those glutathione molecules together.
Interesting. So they lack the methylation processes to do that, is what you're saying.
They have the methylation process. They have the GST enzyme deficiencies. They have the GST. There's GGTs. There's GSTs. There's so many different gene SNPs that you can see, because it requires 2 enzymes, 3 amino acids, and a catalyst to produce 1 molecule of glutathione. Any one of them has a defect, or your body is not able to process it, you're out of luck. Your body cannot produce glutathione fast enough, right? It's very, very sluggish. And so what we know today is that the population that have this mutation is in a dire need of a molecule that is not dependent on your body's ability to produce glutathione. You want to take it something that can readily absorb it and be useful to you.
Interesting. How did you discover this? I know there was mistakes after shelving things and going back to it and saying, you got something here. Share that backstory, because I found it very fascinating.
Oh my God, I'm going to date myself now, really back now, right? This was started about 20 years ago. When I was working, I was hired to make the liposomal form of glutathiones and vitamin C's and all those things. So we did make those products, and we delivered this product to the doctors I was working with. And back of my mind says, hey, this is not a good product. This is not the best product in the market today. So behind the scenes, I said, hey, you got what you want. I'm off the hook now. I'm going to take that molecule and I'm going to figure out a different way to deliver that part. So we did. So in my research, I have a partner in this R&D, which is Dr. Tran. He is with me since for 20 plus years now.
Wow.
And he was at USC Keck School of Medicine in the research department working on protein molecules. I said, that's the guy. You know the amino acids chains. I know how I can get this thing. I need you to come and join me. So he came after a few years. When he became a tenured employee, he joined the company, and we started working on this glutathione molecule. And so it was hard initially because nobody wanted to work with us, and nobody wants to give us the raw materials. And it was very, very expensive, and I didn't have the resources to buy all those raw materials. We somehow scraped up $25,000, get all the raw materials in my lab, and life gets to you. You don't get to work on it right away, and so we worked on it 6 months after I got raw materials. We worked 6 months later, and when we made the product, it looked clean. It smells funny. It was sticky as heck. I don't know. So we shelved it. We just shelved it. Said, oh, you know what? There's other fish to fry. I'm a pharmacist. I got patients lined up outside. One the prescriptions filled. So I was busy doing my work. And a year goes by, and we have to clean up the whole pharmacy for all expired materials, and making sure that we only have fresh stock in the pharmacy. And there we saw the bottle, and it's still clear. I said, oh my God, what is this thing? Then look at the bottom, glutathione made of this day. This is the product. This is the research product that we were working on. We looked at the paperwork. I said, hey, what is this thing? This is stable. I think we got something over here. And it didn't excite him too much, right? My researcher didn't excite him too much. Whatever, right? It's okay. And so we looked at the stable product. So we tasted it. Oh, it tastes awful. I said, oh my God, this is not going to be fun.
Like sulfur rich, right?
Sulfur rich, right? It tastes funny. So, I don't want to bore the audience with all the stories, but the second part was I need to figure out a different way to deliver. Nasal spray, it was burning. It burned the nasal passages. I'm not going to put it in my eyes ever. People are not going to use suppositories, things like that. It's not very comfortable use, especially if you use it twice a day, every day for the rest of your life. That's true. It's not possible. The only thing left was skin. And so we go back and said, okay, let's make this into a topical version. Oh, the topical doesn't get inside your skin. Nothing gets inside your skin. I said, we got to work on this thing now next, because I don't think everybody's going to swallow this. I cannot put it in a capsule because this thing will destroy the capsules, all the gelatin materials. It will destroy every single thing. So 2 years later, we were able to use the technology to literally take these 3 amino acids and twist it into small molecules. And that's where we found, I said, aha, now we can get through your skin without changing the whole polarity of the molecule, because when it's a three-dimensional structure, each end of the molecule is active, and if you fold it, then the two active comes together and sometimes it becomes inactive. And so I had to twist it so that they don't come into contact and it still be able to have the activity on both ends. And so we did that part. So 2 years later, in 2009 is when we first had the first prototype ready to launch. This was a scary part. When we first launched it, the doctor goes, I want it, right? I was a doctor in Utah. He goes, I want this product. And of course, the old literature talks about how much to give everybody, like how much to inject, how much to take oral capsules. The typical dose, he prescribed the dose to somebody and the hell broke loose, right? Having all kinds of reactions like rashes and itching all over the body, and had that loose bowel movement, because what happened was all the toxins were mobilized instantaneously.
Right.
Oh my God, right? So your gut is like pooping everything out, and you're peeing everything out, and you're rashing it because it's starting to come through your skin, every single thing. And I said, oh my God, stop, rethink, right? Rethink. And so it took us about 12 years afterwards to try to figure out how much to give, how often to give, what can we expect the results in, what's time frames, all those. We did 12 years of research before we launched the product to the open public in 2020. So
Wow.
it's a long time coming for us. But I had to stop it because I thought in 2007 that I had a jackpot, right? It's like when you drill the hole in your ground and the oil comes out, and you thought you were a billionaire instantaneously. But until somebody can put the rig together and put a pump together and get everything and have a controlled way to take everything out every single day, it's useless, right? That's happened to me. Until I knew exactly how to deliver to everybody, how to continue everybody's expectations, until that time, it was useless to me. So it took us a long time, and now we have a product that has been released to the public that is, I think, is safer to use it without having any issues.
What an amazing story. And I'm grateful you went through all those iterations for us. Thank you for doing that. You know, it reminds me of Thomas Edison when they asked him, like, I forget the number. They said something like, you failed 999 times to develop, the light bulb. And he would say, well, no, I found 999 ways that didn't work until I found my goal, right? So you found these many ways that didn't work until you found the avenue that actually does work. So it's a topical application that you use twice a day, is what you're saying, every 12 hours?
That's right.
What's the name of the product?
Glutathione. Again,
Glutathione.
I'm sorry, my scientist mind. I didn't have a consumer agency or marketing company design the product for me or write the name for it. So they asked me, what do you want to name this? Oh, name it Glutathione. What is that? I said, hey, it's a chemical. It's something that you have in your body. Again, right? I have nobody to check on me, so I named the product Glutathione. I'm sorry.
So it's called Glutathione.
It's called Glutathione.
Even if you don't like the name, it's an incredible product, and you would put it on topically every 12 hours. And we're going to drop a link for those watching and listening to go get it and check out more of your products and your research. And we also have a coupon code, which we'll put in the notes below. What are some of the so where on the body are you putting it? And does it matter at all? And then are you taking any days off from using the product?
So I don't take any days off. I forget once in a while. I try not to, but I do forget once in a while. But I try not to take any days off because there's a constant need of glutathione for the rest of your life. It's
especially when you hit 40.
Well, when you hit 30 sometimes, right? And young people, if there's gene mutations, they need from when they're young babies. So they need for the rest of their life when they're pretty young. So, but anybody over the age of 30 needs it. 40, there's no doubt in my mind that they need for the rest of your life anyways. So I'll go back and I'll tell you where to apply it. But when I first discovered it, it has a funny odor. The sulfur odor is there, and it's sticky. So when you apply it to your arms and your faces and your bellies and anywhere else, wherever there's a hair, the hair will get stuck to your skin, and it's very annoying, right? So if you see my arm is shaved,
yes,
I shave my arms because I shave my belly as well, because I don't want to think. If I want to apply on my arms right now, I'll just go and apply it right away. If I want to apply my belly, I'll apply the belly right away. I don't have to think twice. It's easy for me to shave the hair off, but I don't want to think where I'm going to apply the glutathione on. So I apply it on any non-hairy part of the body, and it really absorbs it. And the formula we had in 2007, we knew it was smelly and sticky. And so we went through almost, 50, 80 different variations trying to figure out how to get to the smell and the stickiness. And I'll tell you that the formula I had in 2007 and the formula I have today is identical.
Wow.
Hasn't changed one thing in there. And so this was, again, I'm not sure if it is spiritual of your audiences, but my family is very spiritual. And one thing my dad told me is that when you create something that is so simple, right, and it is has such a profound impact, that's what God made us be here for. Life is supposed to be very simple. Simple molecule that is made perfectly. There's nothing you do to change it. There's nothing, right? And the smell and stickiness part, you know what? Our body, if you cut open, it's not smell roses inside, right? Our body from inside is absolutely stinky, right? So all you're doing is you're giving back what your body wants anyways. Yes, and we have the preconceived ideas that it has to smell good, it has to feel good, it has to look good. So no, it has to work. Where does the whole idea gone about as long as it doesn't work, but it does everything else, I'm okay with it? No. So yes, non-hairy area you can apply in your face. Like my wife, she'll apply on her face every night. I apply on my arms and my belly and my neck sometimes. It doesn't really matter where you apply it. It does get through your skin into your body, any part.
That's good to know. So how, if somebody does want to wash that part off because the
Yes.
smell or whatever it is, how long after can they do that?
So you know what? If you rub it in completely, it takes about 90 seconds to 120 seconds, about 2 minutes. But if you rub it in until it's completely dry, like bone dry, not even a speckle of it left, it should dry up. And when you do that part, there should be no smell, there should be no odor where you applied it.
Oh, perfect.
So, but the thing is, sometimes it gets in the summertime. If you sweat, the odor comes back out again, and becomes bothersome to other people. If it bothers you, in 45 minutes you can wash off that area completely, and that's fine because all the glutathione has already been transported into the various parts of the body.
Good to know. What does this do for skin health? I know that you spoke a little bit about this at Dr. 𝙬𝙬𝙬's event that we both spoke
Yeah.
at. What is it doing for anti-aging skin health?
I mean, think about it. Skin is the largest organ that is exposed to all the environmental pollutions, toxicities, everything, right? And so, as much as the foods we eat brings in all the pesticides and fertilizers, we knowingly put stuff on our face in terms of cosmetics and deodorant sticks and things like that we put lotions. I mean, there's so much things that we put on our body every single day. All those is actually affecting your skin as an organ. And so skin requires a lot of antioxidants. The blood from the liver to the skin, it goes through like big vessels to small vessels to really small vessels to capillaries, right? And then it gets to your skin. So by the time it gets to your skin, you get little droplets of vitamins and antioxidants and something like that. It's very difficult to get your skin healthy. So having something like glutathione that can rub on it and can spread around your whole skin, it's incredible. So if we had the technology to deliver this powerful molecule, I can use the same technology to deliver all kinds of molecules. So we are delivering vitamin C, we are delivering carnosine, we are delivering DMAE, CoQ10, resveratrol, cycloestragenol. Same technology, we're delivering everything through your skin and spread them around. So when you do that part, your skin, first of all, starts showing the less of the oxidative stress. I mean, the easy one is the sunspots. And people say, oh my God, I can't go to the sun because my skin gets really dark and I get spots all over the body. Those spots can be diminished instantaneously. Well, let's say instantaneously, within 4 to 6 weeks.
Wow.
Will be diminished completely, right? Again, if there's sunspots, if there's something else, if there's a damaged liver, the liver spots is something that you're checked out by a physician, but even those can be reduced or reversed in the due time frame as well by the time the liver gets healthier. So
Interesting.
The skin is, everybody has a different way to exhibit oxidative stress. Some people show in darkening of the skin. Some people show into wrinkles, discoloration. Some people have less blood flow, or people get breakouts, and people have different symptoms on your skin based on the oxidative stress. Now, so if you tell me what's going to help you, I do not know. But I do tell you that it will reduce oxidative stress down, and whatever that's causing that pigmentation will be reduced as well. I was talking to a doctor yesterday, and she's pretty young, and she had this large spot on her face for at least 5-7 years. And she went to a bunch of doctors. She put some steroid shots in there, and it goes to reduce it out, comes right back up again. Nothing's ever used to reduce a spot down. And guess what happened? I met her in June of last year, And I gave her the product. I said, hey, try this product out. And of course, she's a dermatologist, right? No, I know better. I know
Right.
better. She didn't use it. In September, I meet her again at another conference. I said, did you use the product? Yes, the spot's still there. Oh, no, I never used it. I said, okay, it's up to you. And she still did not use it in September, right? And then in end of September, she calls me up and said, hey, this thing smells really funny. Is it still good? I said, yeah, it's supposed to smell funny. I'm glad you're using it. I just met her again. And guess what? The whole spot's gone.
Wow.
She could not rave about it to me. All right?
That's
we
so
were just sitting
cool.
at a dinner table. She goes, oh my God, you see this? I had a big old spot over here. I see you wear makeup to cover the spot. Now I don't wear makeup. Guess what? People don't know. So yeah, it's success like these makes you feel happy, right?
Yeah, that's so cool. That's awesome. I'm glad she finally ended up using it. If you're following a low carbohydrate keto diet or carnivore diet, this is one of the most important tips. I see a lot of people who struggle with keto and carnivore, and the reason they struggle is because they are losing too many electrolytes. They're becoming mineral depleted. Every cell in your body needs minerals to function, to produce energy, which helps you burn fat and feel good. My favorite minerals and electrolytes are from Beam Minerals. These are fulvic and humic compounds that are bioavailable, that have over 70 minerals in them. It tastes like water. They're carnivore friendly. Let me explain why. There are no anti-nutrients in them. It does not break a fast. As a matter of fact, it could support your fasting window, and it's been a game changer for my health, and I recommend it to all my students. Head over to beamminerals.com. Use the coupon code Ovadia at checkout, my last name, Azadi at checkout, to get a nice discount. Beamminerals.com, coupon code is Ovadia. So the glutarol, also in combination with the glutathione, has the other properties that you mentioned, carnosine, CoQ10, vitamin C, etc.?
No. So Ben, I didn't tell you. We have a whole skincare line.
Oh, I didn't know that. I remember you sharing at the conference that you were going to develop a skincare line. I didn't realize it was already available. Okay.
It's already there on the same website.
Got
so
it.
They can use
Okay.
the same coupon code. They can use the same link that you have in the show notes, right? On the top left-hand corner, you can toggle to Oro Skincare or Oro Wellness, and you can, it comes to one shopping cart. So we have a whole skincare line, and we have the glutarol product for the wellness side as well. And so,
Oh, I got to tell my fiance about this immediately after we finish this interview. She's going to be super excited about that. You know, one of the things that a lot of health experts a lot of them disagree, right? Vegan, carnivore, keto, not keto, do this exercise, not that exercise, focus on calories, no focus on hormones. There's a lot of disagreement. But one of the things I think most, if not all, health experts would agree about is the importance of the mitochondria, and how if you have unhealthy mitochondria, you're going to have an unhealthy life, and you're going to have inflammation and all these symptoms and diseases eventually. And man, when I was studying the mitochondria, and I just geek out studying this amazing bacteria that are like aliens inside of our body, one of the things that I learned is that there are only two antioxidants that the mitochondria uses, melatonin and glutathione.
yes.
So share with us how important glutathione is for mitochondria health.
So I have not done the studies to prove beyond doubt that by using glutathione you can increase the number of mitochondria in your body. I wish we can do the study in human studies. That would be absolutely a game changer, because if that's true, you can literally claim singularity in life, which means you can live in perpetuity, right?
Wow.
So we're not there yet. But what we do know is getting the glutathione back into the mitochondria is a challenge. It's like, how can you put the baby back in the womb once it's delivered? You can't, because once the baby comes out, the whole uterus, everything contracts back to its normal size. You cannot put it back everything inside, right? And so when the mitochondria, that's where the glutathione is being produced, right? Once it gets released to the body, how can you put it back inside? It's very, very difficult, right? But now we have the technology that it can reduce the size completely. That can do that part. And so we have shown, we have done a clinical trial already at the university. Actually, it wasn't me doing the trial, but the professors at the university did the trials. There were two professors. They did the trial there at the university. And what they did was, it was a 3-day trial, nothing fancy. What can you expect in 3 days? They were applying the glutathione, and they was measuring all the cytokines and the inflammatory markers. They even infected the blood with mycobacterium infection, and to see, hey, what's going to happen, right? To their astonishment, what they found out was, within 1 hour of applying glutathione, they saw a reduction in the oxidative stress marker, which is the MDA markers.
Wow.
Went down within 1 hour. Okay. What they did see, second part, after 3 days of, because you have to incubate the test tubes for 3 days to see the bacteria goes up and down. They saw that after 1 hour of drawing the blood, you apply the glutathione, 1 hour you draw the blood, you infect the blood with mycobacterium. That blood show reduction of the mycobacterium load in 3 days.
Wow.
What the researchers showed was that as soon as you apply the glutathione, it's activating the immune system to a point where it's mobilizing all the macrophages, which is the scavenger cells in your body, to get rid of all the toxins, get rid of all the bugs out of your system, right? It does not happen unless the mitochondria is also working with you. Right?
That's incredible. Yeah, yes. Go ahead.
So that to me was absolutely, there's no words for me. The word that came out is like, we were all shocked to see such a simple molecule, a 3-day trial showing a profound impact in human lives.
That's beautiful. I love that. That excites me even more, because I knew about the importance of the mitochondria as it relates to glutathione, but that just excites me even more, honestly. What are some of the other testimonials you've seen with those using your products?
Oh my God. All I can tell you is that I wish everybody have a chance to sit in my seat one day or even 1 week at the most, and see the emails and the text and the testimonials I get from the patients that have been using this product. It is nonstop, just raving about different things, all kinds of things, because we do not know the oxidative stress, what metabolic disease has it created, what autoimmune disease has it created, what function in your body is not working because of oxidative stress. There are literally thousands and thousands of different things that can go wrong in your body, and we have one molecule to rescue every single thing. And so all I tell my people is to, hey, please try the product for anything and everything you got. And if you do not feel, if you feel like you got zero results out of it, or if the results did not meet expectations, don't sweat it. Write a bad review, we'll refund your money. Give me a 1-star review. 1-star review, I said, this product was not up to my standard, and that's okay. We'll fully refund your money, because I don't want people to be scared of trying the product, in the sense that, hey, I'm not sure if this is going to help me or not. I said, do it. All I can say is do it, and then if it doesn't work out, don't sweat it. I'll be glad to pay you back.
That's pretty bold. I mean, the fact that you say, you know that they're going to get a benefit, because that's bold to say, leave a bad review and we'll refund you. And I admire that as like from a business standpoint, but you know that they're going to benefit, which is super cool because of what you've seen so far. Can you give us maybe 1 or 2 testimonials that stand out to you with using your product?
So the few things that really worked out for us early on, that's how we found out about the glutathione's benefits, how fast it works. We had early on, when the doctors were using on their patients, they had the shingles outbreak. Outbreak, and viruses, you can never get rid of the viruses. It's almost you basically put them back to dormant. The only treatment you have for the viruses is you literally build up immune system. And so the doctor I was working with in Utah right away put the patient on the glutathione. At that time, it was not called glutathione. It was just called glutathione. But anyways, he put on glutathione, and he put it around the clock, like every 4 hours. Literally, in 6 hours, the pain was gone completely.
Wow.
And in 2 days, all the symptoms of he called it shingles. It could have been misdiagnosed. I don't know. All the symptoms were gone in 2 days, right? Eventually, the skin, there was broken skin, everything got healed in less than 4 days. So that was this was very, very early on. And so since then, the doctors have used for all kinds of acute viral infections, and they've seen results and said, hey, by the time you go to see a doctor and to get an antiviral pill, it's about a day or two out anyways. They start using this product immediately while they wait for the doctor to prescribe them a medicine. And sure enough, within a day, they may not even need any medicine.
That's amazing.
So
I love that.
That was a great story. The other part that was really good for me is my father, bless his soul now, he passed away this year, but the last 10 years of his life was the best time of his life. He was 89 years old this year when he passed away, but
Wow.
It's like somebody just picked him off the golf course, so to speak. But in 10 years, he was free of diabetes, free of arthritis, free of blood pressure, and even though he was under proper care with the physicians taking all the medications, all the doctors were doing was managing the problems.
Yeah.
Was not getting rid of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And the last 10 years, he was patient number one on using the glutathione, by the way, because I didn't release the product to everybody else, so he was patient number one.
Awesome.
And when he used this part, his A1C, the diabetes number in the sugar numbers never went over 5.4.
Wow.
And he was only on one medication with the doctor that he was taking on top of that, which was metformin. That's all he took with the glutathione, and his sugar levels never fluctuated. Because of that, he lost a lot of weight. He was pain-free. He walked 6 miles per day every day, enjoyed his life while he was alive, and really gave him back the years that he lost, because he was diabetic for 40 years, keep in mind.
Wow.
He had arthritis when he was in his mid-50s, right? And he couldn't even walk or exercise. In the last 10 years, he was living his life. Amazing. So
Amazing.
Yeah.
You made a big difference for him, and may his soul rest in peace. I know he's so proud of you, and what you've done and continue to do is just amazing.
He was the one who put me to the spiritual path. He was the one who told me a few years ago that, hey, Nayan, this molecule is so simple. Stop trying to change it. I said, Dad, I'm working on something better. I said, you know what? This is perfect. It is. It's working. It does its job. People are raving about you. He cannot go and be getting thanked by his friends and people that he goes and say, oh my God, your son is a genius. He just saved my life. I mean, he was so proud of what we've done. I said, stop changing it. When God gives you something so perfect, take it and say, bow your head down and just embrace that this is the way it's supposed to be. So,
words of wisdom from your dad.
Yes.
Absolutely, words of wisdom. With diabetes, it's also near and dear to my heart. I lost my dad in 2014 to the complications of diabetes, and it's something I'm really passionate about, and I work with a lot of diabetics. And I've helped type 2 diabetics, hundreds of type 2 diabetics reverse their type 2 diabetes. And it's such every time I do that, I feel like I honor my dad and I honor my dad. And I want to know, as it relates to glutathione and the reduction of oxidative stress, to me, as I'm putting the pieces together to see how this is working, like the mechanisms of action, it seems like when you get your glutathione levels up, you lower inflammation, you lower cell membrane inflammation, you lower oxidative stress. So now your hormones could get into the cell and do a better job. So as it relates to diabetes, now insulin could actually get into the cell and lower blood sugar levels. So am I having the right thought process here in terms of the mechanisms of action?
you must have read my book.
I have not yet, actually. I
Oh
have
my
not.
God.
But I
That's
will soon. I have it on my queue.
I have the chapter on diabetes in my book, because that's what you just said is exactly what it's in my book.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like diabetes is nothing but an oxidative stress disorder. If I can reduce oxidative stress down, now of course once you become diabetic, it's like when you stretch the rubber band and it loses the shape, when you let it go, it doesn't come back to the same shape again. Little stretched out all this time.
Right.
That's what diabetes is. Diabetes is a little bit overstretched rubber band already. Okay. So yes, you cannot go back down to 100% like baby again, but you can go back down again and still be a very productive member of the society without taking a lot of medications. And having diabetes complications, because nobody dies of diabetes. People have diabetic complications.
That's right.
So if I can reduce the diabetes load on your body, you can have a better health span, and hopefully with that you're going to have a better lifespan as well. So
yeah. Important.
And especially people that are taking insulin, which they're the type 2 diabetics, they're taking insulin, you have insulin resistance. That means you have very, very high oxidative stress. You need to reduce oxidative stress down with glutathione.
Yeah. And by the way, taking insulin when you have insulin resistance, it's like giving an alcoholic alcohol. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
The blood sugars are getting better and the doctor's patting themselves in the back, but the diabetes is getting worse. And to your point, pretty rare to die from diabetes. It's what it leads to, and that is the real issue. So oxidative stress is the name of the game here.
One disclaimer, if you do use the glutathione, please work with your physicians, because if it does reduce your sugar levels down, if you're taking insulin, they can put you in, back you in low insulin hypoglycemic. That's not a good sign either. So if you're taking glutathione, please work with your physicians to make sure you monitor your glucose levels regularly, so that way they can adjust your medications if need to be.
Very important note there. Work with your doctor on that. As you get healthier, you're going to want your doctor to start kind of de-prescribing in a way, but reducing your dosage, because you don't want to drop those blood sugars too much. That is also a problem there.
That's right.
You mentioned your book. It's called the Glutathione Revolution. And I have not read it yet. I'm telling you the truth, but I will read it. And I love your work. I'm just blown away since I met you about a month ago with your research. So you could get the book. We'll drop a link for the book down below. What would the reader expect to achieve after they've read that book? So
this is my work after I discovered glutathione for the 12 years before I launched the product. So you're going to hear stories. You're going to hear what I gave it to, what people use it for, all the doctor stories. And we work with Olympic athletes, NFL athletes in that time frame. So you're going to hear the story about the physician that work with them. It's a feel-good book that when you're done reading, it gives you hope that, you know what, I can reverse my problems. I don't have to live with my problems. I can change my diet. It says there's a 14 days to boost glutathione levels. That's not a 14-day diet plan. That's my lifelong diet plan. I live with the diet plan every single day of my life. And so I'm hoping that I'll give you enough hope that it triggers you to, you know what, I'll change a little bit, because if I can change it, if I get some help, I think I can get better at where I'm at. By the way, this is the only body I have. I got to make it work.
That's right. Yeah, Jim Rohn had said that. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Yes. Man, I can't wait to read the book. Is it also available on Audible?
It's on Audible. It's on, now if Spotify Premium has it too. Kindle, everything.
There you go.
You know?
Every avenue. No excuses. You can read it or listen to it.
Listen to it as well. Absolutely.
Next question for you, Nayan. I'm writing speaking of books, I'm writing a new book called Metabolic Freedom. It will be out in June of 2025, so quite some time, but it will be out, and it's about metabolic health. And we see that here in the United States, 88% to about 93% of Americans are metabolically unhealthy, which is a really high percentage. And the book talks about this metabolic freedom concept, which is the metabolism. The way that God built the metabolism is to use whatever substrates are available for fuel and energy and feel good, burn fat, etc. And unfortunately, 88% to 93% are metabolically inflexible. They're metabolically handcuffed. So the question for you is, what are your top 3 favorite ways for achieving this metabolic freedom? And I will guess that glutathione is one of those, but what are your top 3 favorite ways?
I have not been asked this question before, but yes. Glutathione would be number one chemically, because that makes absolute sense. Um, I'm a big fan of structured exercise routine.
Mm.
Uh, that that would help me mobilize the body. Uh, when you do exercise, it is actually increasing stress on your body. But what it is really doing is make your body resilient. So I'm good with that as long as it's prescribed to my body type and my physical activity. And if I can do that part, I can become metabolically free of conditions that I'm working with. The third thing is for me is my diet. Um, and I was a carnivore.
Oh,
Up
you were.
until
I know you're very different from that now.
I'm different today. And again, it's all in life. People thinks that things keeps on changing, right?
Yeah.
So about 9-10 years ago, I used to eat everything. About 9-10 years ago, I went, okay, you know what? I'm going to become vegetarian, not vegan, but just vegetarian. So I did that part, and about 3 years ago, I became pescatarian now. So I probably have fish maybe once or twice a month, not a week, but just once or twice a month. And so I think the proper diet for me is not completely carnivore, not completely vegetarian, or not pescatarian, somewhere in between. And I'm trying to. I've gone from this far. I've been to this far. I'm coming back inside. I think I need to find a medium tone when I know that I'm not putting any extra stress on my body. At the same time, the food that I'm consuming is actually helping me heal from inside, right? And so when you talk about metabolic, three things that comes into my mind is, of course, exercise, my diet, and I cannot stop raving about the need to improve glutathione reserves in the body.
Fantastic answer. I love that. Great job. I want to take a quick break from the video you're watching to share something with you that has made a big difference with my health and the thousands and thousands of students that I teach all across the world. Now, this is a unique device that has been shown to help with skin health, sore muscles, wrinkles, psoriasis, eczema, scoliosis, migraines, sleep issues, arthritis, acne, scar tissue, wound healing, relaxation, and also boost testosterone levels. It's red light therapy. Turn it on, and as you can see, I just leave it there on my desk as I work. 10, 20 minutes per day will suffice. Then head over to bondcharge.com/KetoCamp and use the coupon code KetoCamp to get 15% off your red light device. So whether it's these Bond Charge blue light blocking glasses, their sauna blanket, or any of their awesome products, use that coupon code KetoCamp at checkout. We'll drop a link down below. Go check them out. They are awesome. And let's get back to today's video. Final question for you is about vitamin G. We spoke about vitamin G. Remember vitamin gratitude. And I want to ask you, Nayan, what do you have vitamin G for right now?
So first of all, I want to thank you for giving the term vitamin G. Yes, because I used the term at a medical conference yesterday.
Did you? Oh,
just yesterday.
Love hearing that.
And it was an oncology conference.
Wow.
And I tell them, hey, you guys take your vitamins every single day, right? Every morning. Do you take vitamin D? You take vitamin E? And the heads are nodding. Vitamin B's. How about vitamin G? And she nodded first, and she goes, wait a second. What did you say again? I said vitamin G. I said vitamin G. I said gratitude. I said somebody famous told me that you gotta have vitamin G every single day with your multis every day. And she goes, and she's a physician herself, and she goes, you know what? I like that a lot. I do like that a lot. I'm going to start prescribing all my patients vitamin G because
wow.
Without gratitude, we are nothing. We are nothing. And for me today, you are my vitamin G today because the work that you are doing in connecting the world and spreading the message, I always thought there's that if you want to raise a child, you need more than a parent. You need a village to raise a child. Glutathione needs more than a village to reach the world. And all I'm looking is, I'm just gathering a bunch of villagers, and you are part of the villager at this point. And I am so appreciative for what you do. I'm so appreciative that you invited me to speak today. And I'm so thankful that you're out there reaching the world with the message. And your message is so clear as to what you want to achieve, that it makes me feel good that I'm associated with you. So thank you for that.
Oh, that well received, man. Thank you, Nayan. I love that you spoke about it at the conference yesterday, and the way that you did it, the way that you set it up is brilliant. Do you take vitamin A? Do you take vitamin D? Vitamin G? Brilliant way. And I got goosebumps when you said that the oncologist said she's going to start prescribing that vitamin G. I think it's, the vitamin G is. Some people think it's silly. Gratitude, come on, that's not going to do anything. There's actually some really amazing studies, if you need that, on it, but give it a shot for yourself. Like, feel the gratitude and see if you notice a difference. I know every time I do it, I notice a difference. And you, Nayan, expressing gratitude to me, you're benefiting from that, and I'm benefiting from that. So
Yes.
It's both people benefiting from that. And I want to express it back to you, because when I saw you speak at Dr. Kate's event, Biohack Your Beauty, which is going to come back, I think, later this year or next year. So you can check that out for those watching. Man, I was just so blown away by your presentation. And then we got to meet, and you were just such a great human being that I connected with in person. If you enjoyed that chat, be sure to watch this next video with Dr. Philip Ovadia, world-renowned heart surgeon, all about heart disease.
Heart disease remains the #1 killer by a pretty wide margin. It was sugar is causing heart disease, or it was dietary cholesterol and saturated fat is causing heart disease.